Hey friend, welcome back to my channel, BWK. On today's video, we're going to talk wedding tips. I just feel that I'm in a good space to just keep it going with all the wedding stuff. I know you guys seen the bridal shower, so we're going to keep it moving. So, on today's video, I'm going to give you 3 tips that I think helped us in the long run with our wedding planning, which I think would be beneficial to somebody else. So, tip number 1, the envelope challenge. Now, we didn't do the envelope challenge to its entirety, like, oh, you put this much money in here, each day or each week you'll get X amount of money in the end. That's not how we did it. I literally just like the fact of taking envelopes and stuffing them with money, because then it's more so like the out of sight, out of mind. And sometimes when push comes to shove and if things happen, I feel the need to dip into the money we have. So for me personally and for my fiance, we're just like, we don't want the money in our account. We want it where we can't touch it at all. So this was kind of like our best bet. We've been planning for a year and a half, I would say. And so far, we've saved up enough for the wedding venue, like the other half, because you have to put deposits down. So we have our wedding venue, our florist is done, our photographer is done, and then our drapist is done. The last 2 things we're working on is our photo booth. Like you can see, there's nothing in it. We're working on the photo booth, and then our caterer. Our catering is $8,000. We do have around 270 people coming. They said, like, they RSVP, they said they're coming, but we won't know until the day of. So we already had half of that money, but then my fiance took it amongst himself to save up the other half. So we work in 2 different fields. He is the breadwinner of our home, so sometimes it's easier for him to save up things a little bit quicker than it is for me. I just did the math, the tally up of the envelopes. Sorry, I don't want to show the front, but in a year and a half, we've saved up $13,272. So that was all with just doing envelopes, out of sight, out of mind. I did want to add that it is possible. A year and a half. Marcus proposed to me in November of last year. Or no, I'm sorry. So Marcus proposed to me in November of 2023. We put our down deposit for our venue January 2024. And then we didn't even start saving until probably 4 months after that. We started saving like midsummer. So from midsummer of 2024 to right now, and like I said, we still have things that we're paying for, like just saving up the last of it. So it might be a little bit more that we'll save in total, but so far we have saved $13,272. So it is possible if you are frugal, you work within your means, and take your time and be vigorous. If you need to have more than one job, do it. Me and Marcus both work 3 jobs. I know that is not something to praise. Like, we're not excited about it, but we wanted the wedding of our dreams. So we sacrificed time, and we both work. We work full time, and we both have 2 part-times. So in one of the part-times, well, at least for me, one of the part-times, I only get paid like once. No, I only get paid once every few months. So it's like it accumulates because I work at our church, which is fine. That's fine. Like that was there before we started wedding planning, but I wasn't really using the money anyway. So I was like, oh, well, when I get those checks, I'll just throw it towards something we need for the wedding. So it's fine. But Marcus gets paid, I think, every 2 weeks with the church, because his is more intense. Like, he's like their lead for the live stream. So, that's a little bit more intense. But we each have 3 jobs. So, yeah, it's just It's a lot. You do what you need to do when you want the things you want. But I just wanted to add that, like, if you guys were curious about how much, like, exactly we've saved, that's how much. And that's my first time doing the calculation. I like, because it's been out of sight, out of mind. I have not looked. As long as the envelopes are completed, that's all that matters to me. I'm like, okay, they're complete. Like, that is what it is. On to the next. So I haven't, like, tallied up everything, but I'm actually very proud of us. That's a lot. It also just goes to show that, like, personally, we can save a lot more than we think, because, like, we have a savings. We're trying to buy a home after we get married, and I feel like it's been so hard to save up just the little bit of down payment that we have. And it's like we just saved 13,000 in a year, or maybe even less than a year. So it's possible. And it also just makes me hone into patience as well, and just, like, everything comes in due time. Like, be patient, wait on the Lord. He has something in store for you. So I don't know, I think that this was a test. This felt like a test, and we got to see the fruits of our labor. So that was really great. And, like, now I'm just like, wow, like, we did really good. Like, you guys are seeing this in real time. Like, I'm really proud of her. Like, I'm really proud of us, because I don't know what I thought was in here. I didn't think it was that much that we saved, but I am thankful and grateful. And it's just like, okay, yeah, I see the fruits of our labor. We worked hard for that. Like, we had faith through all of this that it would get worked out. Like, regardless, we were gonna have a good wedding. We didn't fixate too much on the money aspect. We just did what we can. We tried to stay within our means. We found people that we can work with. Thankfully, we have friends and family that are in businesses that we can use for wedding purposes. So that actually, like, really helped us. And yeah, so I'm just like, all right, this is great. I am thankful. Thank you, Jesus, because I was getting a little nervous, like, oh my gosh, it's getting closer and closer. What else do I have to do? But I feel good. That was good. The waiting season, being patient. I think that is very beneficial when it comes to planning a wedding. Like, you need time. If you want to do a wedding, if you want to get eloped, do that. Please do that. I applaud you for doing it. It's hard over here to plan and save. It's hard. It's not fun. It is not fun. Anybody who asks me how the wedding planning is going, they're like, oh, are you excited? I'm excited to get married, yes, but I'm ready for the wedding planning to be done. This is hard. It is stressful, especially if you're a type A person, a person who's an overthinker. I'm an overthinker. I don't think I'm a perfectionist, but I do pay attention to detail. So, like, a lot of stuff that I've been stressing about is the details. So the little stuff, which is why I'm not keen with the wedding decorations, because that's where all the detail comes into play. And it's just like, oh my gosh, I just hope it looks right. Do I want this? This isn't the right color. I need it to match a little bit better. Like, that's me. That is me. So it ain't been fun over here. It has not been fun. And, like, excited to get married? Yes, I am. But outside of that, all this other stuff, all this planning, I'm ready for it to be done. One thing I will say, keep God at the center. Pray a lot. Give him your stresses and your worries, because I don't know how far we would have made it if I didn't keep God on speed dial. Because yeah, it just felt like a lot, and I needed a lot of moments to breathe, and I was able to do that with Marcus, or him being like, well, we should pray, or you need to talk to God about this, like, everything's gonna be fine, just have faith. Kind of just reminded each other that. So that was very, very helpful. But again, the amount that we saved, I'm excited for when we buy a home, because at this point, I kind of don't want to, or I hope that we don't rush the process and just buy a home. And I hope that we kind of, if we need to, do the same thing. And if it takes us another 10 months, that's fine. Act like we're wedding planning again and save up this same amount, because it saved us $13,000. It's $13,000 we didn't have before. So it's just giving me ideas for planning out buying a home, how to do it correctly, how to have patience, take our time, wait on the Lord, because there is something out there for us. And I want it to be a space that God is taking us to. I want it to be a home that was made just for us, a home that we can grow in with a family, and not feel that, oh, we got this home, great, but now that we have kids, we need to bounce and get a bigger home because this home wasn't big enough. Like, I don't want it to be like strategic, but I want it to be planned, purposeful, intentional. I want us to think about what we're putting our money into, and I think that that is what God is setting us up for. So stay tuned for that. That is not coming anytime soon, but after the wedding, hopefully, God willing, we might get a house right after we get married. And if it's not in God's plan yet, then it's not in God's plan yet. But what I will tell you is that we won't be in this apartment, because I do think the apartment living is also holding us back. But anywho, let's get on with the video. Let's get on to tip number 2. Figure out what each of you guys can contribute to the wedding. Because again, if you guys are constantly trying to do the 50-50 or matching, it's not gonna work, especially if you guys aren't working in like the same field. So my fiance, he is an engineer. I am a social worker. I'm sorry, the salaries are different. They're like this. The salaries are literally like this. And what we've noticed is that in the beginning, we were trying to do like the 50-50, like, oh, well, if you're putting down this much, then I'm gonna match it. And then we ran into the issue of that was way harder for me because I make less than him. So instead, we kind of balanced it out to where like I put the deposits down, right? Sometimes the deposits are, I don't know, $250, $500. Like it kind of just depends. But like so I would put the deposit down to get us started. He would save up some of the money depending on which envelope we were working on, and then I would finish the envelope because it's like, oh, this needs $600 in here, or this needs $700. Like, okay, that I can do because then I can break up my checks to where now it's like, okay, we can get that stuff. And then even down to other little things. So while Marcus was working on like our catering, that's $8,000. We had 4. He's been really working on saving up the other 4. While he was doing that, I've been getting the wedding decorations because that's what I can do with my paychecks. So you see what I'm saying? Like, don't try to match everything. Really see where your strong suit is, like where each of you guys can help in the wedding planning process. And also too, you really need to know your time frame of when you want to get married. We were able to do all of this within a year and a half, so it took some time. And we are in May. We're in May. We got about 2.5 months left before we get married, and we're still paying for stuff. So, and it's not like we're paying it like we're scrambling, but it's like, okay, now we're able to focus on wedding decorations because we have all of our funds solidified. Like all the funds are there. Now we just have to wait for the payment dates so that we can give them the money. So that's kind of like how we're doing it. But I thought, honestly, I feel like the way that we saved the money was very, very helpful in the long run. And it was easy going for us, thankfully, because we planned. Like we had that year and a half. We figured out how we can help each other in paying for the wedding. We tried not to stress too much about it. It was a little stressful, just a little bit. Like nothing's perfect, but we figured out how we can come together as one to make this a day that we're going to remember. So that is tip number 2. Tip number 3, be frugal. For the last year and a half, we have definitely been frugal with our money. You really need to prioritize where you can save money, where you're going to spend the money. And I don't just mean like on wedding decor. Like I'm like, people think that, oh, I'm going to save here by DIYing. That's great. Like I'm also DIYing because some stuff is just too expensive. We're in the last few months and we don't feel like trying to scramble for that money. So we're just going to DIY, do it ourselves. But the other part of being frugal is like eating at home. Like what are some things that you can give up so that that money is going towards the wedding for right now, instead of you trying to still do everything you love to do, plus trying to save money for your big wedding, big, small, medium, whatever it is. And that was one thing that I would say did fairly well on. We were frugal with our money. So the last 3 months, and then that too, yeah. So the last 3 months, we were trying to hone in on our health and our fitness. So we were working out like 5 times a week. We still try to do that, but now, you know, summer's picked back up, people trying to relax. So it's been it's been a little relaxed, a little laid back. But during those 3 months, we were working out. So because we were working out, we weren't trying to eat out. We weren't trying to eat fast food. We meal prepped every week for 3 months straight. That saved us so much money. Like, we were able to actually get ahead in our envelopes because the money we would spend on eating out, it just stayed in our savings, or we pulled it to put it in these envelopes. So see where you can cut cost. I think that was a really big thing for us. And normally we like to travel, like we like to take trips, we like to go see our friends and family because nobody really lives in Minnesota. So we're always going to see friends and family. And we had to stop that this last year and a half. Instead, we asked people to come to us. Now, have we gotten visitors here and there? Not a lot, and that's fine too, because then, we didn't have to entertain, or we didn't have to host, or because normally when we're hosting, we live in an apartment. There's only so much you can do here. So for us, we would take them places, which means we're still spending money because now we're eating out, we're going to restaurants, we're going to Mall of America, we're doing all these things. But we got to not do that this last year and a half, and it was great. The only big thing I think that we spent money on, and after the fact we were like, why did we do that, is when we were trying to figure out what to do for our bachelor and bachelorette weekends. We each did 2 separate things, but we kind of spent a lot of money. We were like, dang, the amount we spent on these weekends, we could have just put that towards the wedding. But it is what it is. Marcus just got back from his little week week getaway, and he had a ball. So it's worth the money. But I also feel that if we wouldn't have been frugal throughout the year and a half, we wouldn't have been able to make those plans and kind of spend time with our wedding party, because that money would have been gone. So that's why I'm saying, like, figure out where you can cut costs, figure out where you can be frugal, because I think that is going to make a big difference. Some people don't have to do that, but we had to. We are apartment living. We don't make the same amount of money salary wise. Like, we are in 2 different places professionally. So it's like that was one of the things we had to do. Like, we had to see where we could save some money so that we can have this wedding. And especially since technically we're having somewhat of a big wedding, we knew that it would be costly, and we didn't want to stress ourselves out more than we needed to. So yeah, but those are kind of my 3 tips for wedding planning. Actually, I'm gonna throw in another one. I'm gonna throw in another tip. Tip number 4: write out everything. I have an iPad, and I was definitely writing out everything, like down to the month of. So on Canva, if you use Canva, they have like wedding planning templates, especially if you don't want to pay for a wedding planner because they're expensive. I got lucky. My sister is a wedding coordinator in Florida, and that was her wedding gift to us. She wanted to help us coordinate our wedding. So I meet with her weekly, maybe even three times a month. I would say 3 times a month, because life, and she still has other clients. Like, I don't have to pay her, so other clients are more important. That's fair. But if you cannot afford like a wedding planner or wedding coordinator, use Canva. Canva has templates in it, and it gives you like checklist things, like things that you should have done by month 6 or by month 3, by month 7. Like, that's what I used on top of using my sister. So when we're not meeting, I was checking off things like, okay, I have this done, or okay, this was paid for on this date. Like, that was very helpful. Me using my iPad to literally write everything down, check it off the list. I dated everything. The wedding planning period, you are a planner. Take it serious. Be as organized as you can, because you don't want to stress yourself out. As organized as I am, and still is for this wedding, there have been moments where I'm still completely feeling burnout. Like, I can go a month without doing wedding stuff, like paying for stuff, planning for stuff, because I prepared. Like, I made sure that I had all of this written down. We were ahead of schedule, technically. Like, speaking with my sister, she said that we were ahead. So I was able to take a month off and actually rest through the burnout because I wasn't last minute. So just make sure that during the wedding planning era that you are actually planning and being organized. And also make your partner be a part of the process, because that was very helpful. Me and Marcus would sit down and meet, like even outside of meeting with my sister, we would meet with her on Sundays. Sometimes we would meet before that, just me and him, maybe Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, one day during the week or something, and we would sit down and talk about what all we've gotten done, what do we want to focus on for right now, like what do we want to prioritize this week, or what do we want to prioritize this month. So that was helpful because we were both communicating and we were both in the process. And it didn't make it feel like I was doing everything or that I was alone in the wedding planning. Because, you know, sometimes you hear that where the bride is stressed because they're doing everything and the man just gets to show up. Not in this household, not in this household at all. So I made sure that he was a part of it. I didn't have to force him, but when it came down to like days where I was actually feeling super stressed and being like, we need to meet, there's things I want to discuss with you about the wedding, that was when I probably put my foot down and was more forceful. But he was receptive to it, and he was actually like, okay, well, let's sit down. Like, what do you need me to do? Is there anything that I could take off your plate? Like, we actually worked as a team. So just make sure that you and your partner are working as a team, because that will get you further in the long run, instead of now you're backtracking, or you know you're reiterating everything you said, or feeling that you're saying things more than once because your partner wasn't listening or he wasn't there during the planning process. So that is all that I have for my tips. Let me know in the comments below if this was helpful, if you want to know more. Again, this is a year and a half of us planning, and I feel more comfortable talking about it. Please check out my other wedding series videos that kind of breaks down what all has been going on, even down to decorations, me starting the DIY process for the feather fans for my bridesmaids. But yeah, that's really all I have. I know this was a short video, but I just wanted to kind of continue on this wedding journey and experience, because it's getting closer and closer, and I'm just so excited and I feel more comfortable sharing everything. So I hope you guys are having a great day. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye!